behind me is the filling station. That's where we had our first gig. This whole pavement and around the corner, because it's on a corner, the street, which way? That way. That's where I live, where that van's just come out of. So the whole corner was rammed. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a Bundow guy, right on schedule. Those rehearsals that we had, you know, when Arthur wasn't in the country, we were we'd done some with drums and bass, some with drums, bass and guitar, some with piano and guitar, some with drums and piano, some with piano and trumpets, saxophone, trumpets and piano. We sort of done a complete mix of every kind of possible different groupings of musicians that you could do, just so everyone sort of had everything down. And it was really good because obviously these Madness songs I could already play. They were easy enough for me to sort of show other people what to do, write down the chords. But all the yo Terry. So I'd had to learn all of the other songs, all of the special songs, all of the Bad Manners songs, which I'd already played on the drums, obviously being in Big Ten for 5 years and gigging every weekend. But I'd never actually knew any of the chords to any of them, so I had to write them all down and work them all out, which I'd done by ear, which is ace. So like 20 songs that I'd never played before, I just sat and listened to them and worked them all out and wrote them all down so that everyone would know what to play. So I kind of, I'm not saying I taught everybody, because I didn't, but I mean, Sasha, I showed her quite a lot of things to do. Abby as well on guitar, and like just went through the chords. So I didn't know what the chords were to some of these songs, so it's just as important for me to learn them as it was for everyone else. I then had to learn all the lyrics to all the songs which I kind of knew, but not every single word to every single song. So yeah, we all had our homework to do, and it's been a really fascinating experience from zero to doing this gig at the filling station. And it's just been, you know, like what an amazing thing to have accomplished in such a short space of time, doing, you know, making a ska band from nothing. You know, anyone that knows me at any point in my life since the age of 7, and now I'm 45, I've been a die-hard ska fan my entire life, even as a kid. Massive Madness fan as a kid, loved Bad Manners, loved the specials all my life. So, you know, even for me to be playing in Big Ten in the UK for 5 years, that was like a dream come true. So to do it in Vietnam is like an even bigger dream to come true. Not only have I sort of made a band that's doing rather well, I've also become the lead singer, kind of by default, even though I had no intention of being a lead singer in the first place, but it just kind of happened. But it's been really, really cool. And let me think. Tonight at Heaven, we've got the Japanese guy, Kazudu, how do you actually pronounce his name? Kazudu Kahido, I believe is his name. And we had rehearsals for the first time. He's been, you know, learning all the songs, as has everybody else. He had a couple of sessions with the brass section, and he's literally learned 35 songs that he came to the rehearsals on Monday night. It's now Wednesday afternoon, and he had them all down. He's got them all down. Behind me is the Craftsman, and we're playing there in a massive bar inside there on Wednesday the 17th of July. So yeah, we had this rehearsal on Monday with a 4-piece brass section. Yo, 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 to be on my film. You're just watching. Ah, here he is. First-hand witness. Okay, so Looney Tunes, tell me about the ska band.
Ska band is amazing. I'm going to see you guys tonight.
Excellent.
Tonight at Heaven.
And when are we playing at the Craftsman?
17th.
17th of July at the Craftsman, right there.
We're doing a jungle now.
Oh, it's going to be good. Jungle bar, jungle boogie, or jungle ska. See you later. That is Twan, a brilliant, absolutely amazing guy. Great friend, owner of the Craftsman, and owner of one of the best breakdance troops in Vietnam, the Funk Soul Brothers. So when they come and play, the Funk Brothers, sorry, the Funk with an E Brothers, and they just come and they just turn up at gigs and do like spontaneous breakdance dance-offs, which is amazing. So yeah, going back to this rehearsal, we had this Japanese guy, Kazudu, and my goodness, anyone that's played in a ska band with a 3-piece brass section, you'll know how good it is. If you've ever played in a ska band with a 4-piece brass section, especially when one of them's an incredible trombonist, the difference of the sound. The difference of the sound is amazing. It really is. It's like, it just adds a 4th dimension to the sound of the brass. You know, and a ska band has to have a brass section. It's the law. And my goodness, when we heard Ghost Town, oh my God, like I'd never heard him play. Obviously he'd been learning the songs, and then he had some brass section rehearsals with Frank, Arthur and Michael. And then, so Monday just gone was the very first time I've ever heard him play the trombone. And my God, he's good. hearing Ghost Town with that na-na-na, that sort of bit, that riff, me and Arthur were looking at each other like going, Jesus Christ, this is good. So we do have an amazing brass section tonight's gig at Heaven, and it's going to be really exciting because Heaven's quite a small place, and again it's on a corner, so we're going to have this massive kind of like mini street party, just like what happened at the filling station, where because of this pool tables inside, everyone was dancing outside in the street. You know, it was a boiling hot night, all the sort of doors are open, there's no like kind of walls or anything as such to speak of, but at Heaven it's all open air as well. It's all like open plan. There's no doors or walls, just like a roof. So we've got this small venue with a massive outside kind of area that everyone's going to dance on. It's going to take over the entire street because, you know, it's only our 3rd gig and it's been 11 days since our last one. So it's been like between the first gig and the second gig, that was 4 days. Wednesday to Saturday, that was 4 days. The second gig at Dirty Fingers, it was rammed again. You know, it was absolutely jam-packed full, and it hardly ever is. You know, not as full as that. I'd never seen it that full before, and it's really interesting for, you know, like the filling station gig, for a debut gig of any band to make it the busiest night it's ever been. It was really humbling. It's like, bloody hell, I kind of knew, you know, even though I said to the guy in the afternoon it's going to be rammed and he didn't believe me, I kind of, you know, I predicted that it's going to be busy because it's like, you know, all these sort of jam sessions we'd had at Crazy Cats, we kind of couldn't fail because everyone that came was like, I was like, are there any ska fans in the audience? Everyone was like, fuck yeah. So it was like, wow, this is going to be quite good actually. And it was amazing. It was amazing, like all these people, these 7 or 8 other musicians that have learned all these songs, you know, with and without my help. You know, I've enjoyed learning them myself. I've enjoyed teaching them, like I really have. I've really enjoyed breaking down each song, chord by chord, note by note, like brass section, each riff, working out exactly what it does. Because when you're, you know, an alto saxophone isn't the same as a piano. If it's a C on a piano, you've got to transpose three different notes. And I think it's the same with the trumpet. I think the trumpet is 2 different notes. I'm not a brass player, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that if you're playing one note on the piano, it's a different note on the brass. So I've had to kind of transpose all these riffs and just get them all learned. It's been a really good experience. You know, like learning new songs for me on the piano is great. You know, I've really enjoyed doing that. And teaching them as well. You know, I have this unofficial title of band leader, which is great. I've never been a band leader before. I've only ever joined bands that have already been established. You know, when I joined Big Ten in 2010, they'd already been together. Let's go that way. They'd already been together for 10 years. I joined MOT before that in 2002, I believe, maybe 2001. And they'd already been together for 5 years or something, or 3 years or something. So they'd already had this sort of reputation and this sort of name for themselves. So to start it from scratch and to do this entire project off the bat from zero to you know, the busiest night that the bar's ever had was quite an achievement. My goodness, it's hot. Even when it's not sunny, it's still boiling hot in Vietnam, because that's Asia for you. Well hot all the time. But yeah, it's been a wicked experience, you know, and just wanted to tell you all about it. Like, you know, people have just come and seen it for the first time. Like, bloody hell, how did this come about? Where did this band start from? Like, I know people have come to our gigs and like they said it was the best night out I've ever had, and like it's been the best. Like, I've never sort of heard of ska before. One guy's like, I've never heard of ska, but I loved it. I loved it. I was like, well, better late than never, you know. Glad that you've heard of it now, as opposed to like never hearing of it. So it's been really cool to sort of introduce this music to new people, or this new music to people, even some of the Vietnamese people. I'd probably guess most of the Vietnamese people have no idea what ska is, you know, and I really want to crack the Vietnamese market, because there's 3 bands in Vietnam playing ska, as far as I'm aware. One's in Hanoi, one's in Saigon / Ho Chi Minh City, and one's us, Vietnam. So my future plans are to arrange a ska festival in Da Nang, invite a band from Saigon to come here, invite the band from Hanoi to come here, because, you know, if you're a band in Saigon, the Saigon and Hanoi are at opposite ends of Vietnam. One's north, Hanoi's north, Saigon's south, Da Nang's in the middle. Da Nang's got a beach, Saigon hasn't, Hanoi hasn't. So what better place to invite 2 big bands from you know, opposite ends of Vietnam, kind of meet in the middle. We'll have a massive ska festival in on the beach, and it'll be amazing. We've got the next few gigs we've got booked. We've just been booked for the Reggae Beach Festival, which is happening on the 21st of July at Soul Kitchen. So tonight we're playing in Heaven, Anthong 9. On the 6th of July we're playing at Soul Kitchen, which is in Hoi An on Ang Bang Beach. On the Friday the 12th of July we're playing at The Trip, just around the corner, where I showed you on the video before. On Sunday the 14th of July we're playing at Sasa Town, which is a brand new open air outdoor bar with tree houses and all kind of chilled stuff, and swings, and upstairs like sort of platforms, and really cool bar, real different to any other bar. And then on the 17th, Wednesday the 17th, at the Craftsman, where you just met Tuan. He's the boss of the Craftsman. And on the 2nd and 3rd of August at Da Nang Beer Festival, on a giant festival-sized stage. A massive, massive stage with a massive, massive sound system, like proper, you know, professional rigging, the whole shebang, like a massive, massive event. And they've asked us to play both days, which is amazing. I've got to make sure that my vocal cords get rested, because the first gig at the filling station, the next 3 days I could hardly speak. I had to go and spend $500,000 on a jar of Manuka honey, gargle with it, and it did actually work. You know, it's like one of these wonder foods. But moving swiftly on, you know, the gigs, it's really great to have all these gigs. You know, I mean, before we'd even done our first gig, we had 6 gigs booked before we'd even played our first ever gig. You know, a 9-piece band. I mean, it was 8 for the first 2 gigs. Tonight it's a 9-piece band. Kazudu has to go back to Japan on a business trip for 3 weeks, or possibly 2 weeks. He's back on the 21st, so the Reggae Beach Fest on July the 21st. He's back for that, so we'll have a 4-piece brass section again. Tonight is a 4-piece brass section. Next 3 gigs, I believe, are a 3-piece brass section. And then, once Kazudu is back, we'll have a 4-piece trombone at every gig. Oh my God, you want to hear this guy play trombone? He's outrageously good, you know. To have a 4-piece brass section, I mean, what are the chances? What are the chances of a guy from Japan hearing about our group on Facebook just because I did some paid advertising? You know, I did some target advertising, some real good, like people that are living in Da Nang, like Scar. Obviously, in his Facebook profile, it'll say something along the lines of lives in Da Nang, like Scar. And I couldn't believe it when he messaged me. I'm like, oh my God, you know, I've been looking for a trombone player since day one and never knew of any. So the fact that he found us and wants to join and has played in ska bands before, it's like all the pieces of the jigsaw sort of fit together, you know. And tonight's going to be amazing. I'm well excited for tonight. You know, it's another gig. It's been 11 days, even though I've only done 2 gigs. The last one was 11 days ago, and it's like, we haven't played together for ages, you know. It's kind of like this excitement again. It's like it builds up again. The afternoon of the gig, it's like you start to get, not nerves, but you start to get excited. You know, it's like we get to do it all again today. Then we get to do it all again next Friday, then Sunday, then Wednesday. It's going to be great, man. It's just like a really exciting thing to be a part of. To be a kind of creator and lead singer and drummer of Looney Tunes. Man, it's a dream come true. I read a quote from a woman called Jenny Matthias. Jenny Matthias, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce her surname. Band, an all-girl ska band from the 80s in the UK called the Bell Stars. And and I'm connected with her, and she put a quote on her Facebook page and said, if you're not living the dream, you're truly not living. And I'm like, you know what, I really resonate with that, because I actually absolutely am living the dream. And I told her, wrote a comment and said, listen, I can't agree with you more. I'm living in Da Nang. I've started a 9-piece ska band from scratch, and I'm absolutely living the dream. Which is like, I'm well proud of you. You know, this is like a fucking massive, famous ska superstar in the UK, you know, who I've met years ago, but it's really great when you get sort of good kudos and like thumbs up from like your sort of musical heroes, you know. It's wonderful. It really is. To get like a sort of, you know, thumbs up from her, it's like, wow, this is great stuff. And it is, man, you know, I've been a drummer for 31 years. I played the piano for 41 years. You know, this is what I do. This is what I love doing. Playing music, especially ska. You know, who doesn't like ska? You know, it's like, it's funny, when I first came here, I thought I was the only one. Lo and behold, I'm not. It seems to be that everyone does. So it's a really great thing to be able to do, and just to entertain people and to play gigs on a fairly regular basis, you know. One tonight, one on Saturday, one the following Friday, one then Sunday, then Wednesday. It's like 5 gigs. 5 gigs in the next couple of weeks. Then a huge, great festival on the beach, which is going to be amazing. It's just a really cool thing to do, and I'm really proud of myself and everybody else. You know, what a great idea to have had while sitting on the toilet, you know. I know, start a ska band. The best ideas come when you're sitting on the toilet, I promise you that. If you ever get any random ideas that pop into your head while you're on the toilet, follow them through. It's the Looney Tunes. We are Da Nang's only 9-piece ska band, so I believe, and only the 3rd ska band in Vietnam. I don't actually know how many members are in these other bands, but when this ska festival gets arranged and organised and happens, that's really going to kick off. It's just exciting. It really is, you know, like, to Abby and Paul and Johnny and Frank and Arthur and Michael and Kazudu and Sasha, I'm so grateful, so proud of you all for being in this band. It's just like a dream come true. Like, without you lot, none of it would be possible, you know. I've also got to mention Gabby. Thanks massively for Gabby, who's let us use Studio 211, 211, whatever you call it, which is an amazing rehearsal space, not too far from where we live. And also, it's on the same premises as it's his house. Also, Irene Cafe and Jade, who have fed us all. You know, we have these big rehearsals when like 8 or 9 of us play together. Then we all sit and have a meal and just chill and hang out and get to know each other and have a few beers. It's always very nice. And last but not least, Mana Brand. Mana is a South African girl I met while living in Nguyen Thanh, you know, 6 weeks before I moved to Da Nang. It was her that gave me the idea of coming to Da Nang. She said, Dan, you need to go to Da Nang. You need to go to Da Nang. Not like you should go, like you need to. You have to go to Da Nang. She said, Nguyen Thanh's got nothing for you. Not in a bad way, but it hadn't. It was a little village. I'd moved from Hanoi, the capital, you know, hustle and bustle central, to the smallest village in the world. And I was bored out of my mind, to put it mildly. And it was her that gave me the inspiration and the idea and the thought. She said, go to Da Nang. I went to Da Nang. I never came back. So without meeting Mana, it's really strange how these sort of sequence of events happens, you know, from living in Hanoi for 3 months, having never met any foreigner. I met 2 foreigners in 3 months. Then I moved to the old quarter. I met loads of foreigners. Then I moved to this other place in Nguyen Thanh. I met Mana, who said, go to Da Nang. I came to Da Nang, started a ska band. So all these people along the journey that had helped build it into place, you know, none of it would have been possible without them. Without Mana, without meeting Mana, I didn't know where Da Nang was, you know. I'd never heard of it, and I literally had never heard of it, apart from in Good Morning Vietnam. But yeah, all these people that have helped this band to become what it is, you know, Mana for suggesting I move to Da Nang, all these people that I've mentioned that are in the band, all these amazing musicians that I've met and that also wanted to come to Da Nang and play music, and just be in this band. It's like a lot of them are already in bands, you know, already do like musical projects of their own. So for them to all have enough time to sort of do rehearsals and to play gigs and hang out, it's been wonderful. You know, it's like, it truly is a dream come true on a grand scale. And I can't express what it feels like to be the lead singer of a band. I've never done it before. Playing drums and singing at the same time really is a really massive thing. It's huge. It's wonderful. Not many bands that you know with a drummer that's the lead singer. I've never seen a band that has a drummer as a lead singer. I've always been a drummer, like 31 years since I started playing drums at school. Thanks to Mark Greenwood as well, he taught me how to play drums way back in 1987. And now look at me. How funny, who would have thought it, eh? This 45-year-old bloke from Blackburn, Lancashire would end up being the lead singer and drummer of a 9-piece ska band. That's an international band, you know. We've got members from France, Ukraine, USA, Ireland, the UK, you know, Japan. It's like we've got members from everywhere. It's like it's a, you know, male and female members. It's a really good thing to do, you know. Not many bands have male and female in them. They're either all girl bands, all boy bands, you know, all from the same town, country. So they have this international lineup of male and female musicians playing music that I've been passionate about my entire life. It's a massive thing for me. I love it. I love it to bits, and it's just can't quite put it into words what it means, especially on a day of a gig. Day of a gig is like the calm before the storm, so it was, so to speak. Just literally walking around heaven. It's just up there. It's just up there. Anthong 9. I'm just going to show you this piece of artwork that I saw being created the other day. Crazy Cats, just down that road. Anthong 6, where I first sung in public, first played the piano in public as well. This is Anthong 6 as well. Saw this graffiti mural being painted the other day, and now it's finished. Pretty darn cool if you ask me. Da Nang has also got a wicked graffiti scene, and sort of it's got a really cool like alternative culture, you know. The music scene is like nothing. I didn't see anything like this in Hanoi. Didn't see any bands. Saw some graffiti, but not much. Da Nang's got loads of graffiti, got loads of bands, loads of cool people, loads of musicians, loads of people. I've got loads of friends here. It's truly one of the greatest places I've ever lived in my life. It really, really is. I can't stress that enough. You know, I'll never live back in the UK. I can't. I've got a band. I've got a 9-piece ska band in Da Nang, and it's just started. You know, I'm not going anywhere. There's so much to do. The future is bright. The future's yellow, I reckon, not orange. It's just a cool thing, man. Fucking hell, I know I waffle on my video. This is already 22.5 minutes, but hey, I just want to get the thoughts of my mind, the workings of my mind, down on a piece of paper, so to speak. It's just a cool thing to do. You know, I'm so fucking grateful to everyone that's involved. They've put their commitment and their hard work and their effort and their time into making this band the success of what it is, you know. Couldn't do it by myself. I'm just 1/9 of the band, you know. It's not my band. I might have had the idea, but it's everyone's band. I just happened to be the guy that started it, you know. Without them, it wouldn't be a band. So it's all of our bands, you know. Oh, cool graffiti here as well. This is Da Nang. I'm Dan. This is a bar called Sasa Town. We're playing here on the 12th of 14th, sorry, Sunday the 14th of July. How cool is this bar? It's all open plan. Sasa Town. So on the Sunday the 14th of July, our debut gig at Sasa. It's great. All these little bars around this area in the Anthong district, we get to play at all of them. Like our debut gig. You know, tonight's our 3rd gig, and Sasa, wicked place. Can't wait to play there. Really can't wait to play there. What an experience it will be. There's going to be a mini street party there as well. Tonight's going to be a mini street party. That one's going to be a mini street party. Our first gig at the filling station was a mini street party. All these kind of like outdoor open air bars. There's so many people come, they have to dance in the street. Hence, mini street party. It's just an incredible experience. What a great thing to have done. You know, it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. You know, who'd have thought sitting on a shitter, this would come into my head and it would happen and it would work. It'd be, you know, this dream has become a reality. It really is mind-boggling what you can achieve when you put your mind to it. You know, rather than sitting there procrastinating, going, "Oh, I'll do it next week, do it next week, whatever. Buy a drum kit, yeah, I'll get it next month, next week, whatever." You know what? It comes a time we think, "Fuck it, I've got to do it now." No time like the present, as they say. And there really isn't. 24 minutes. I reckon this is going to run out of space any minute now. So my name's Dan Fossard. I'm the drummer, lead singer and founder of Looney Tunes, Da Nang / Vietnam's only 9-piece ska band. If you haven't checked us out already, make sure you do. Tonight at Heaven, Anthong 9, on Saturday, the 6th of July, Soul Kitchen in Hoi An. On Friday the 12th of July at the Trip. On Sunday the 14th of July at Sassertown. And 17th of July at the Craftsman. And 2nd and 3rd of August, Da Nang Beer Festival. Can't say fairer than that. There's like 6 ska gigs coming up in the next like month. Yeah, today's the 3rd of July. By the 3rd of August, we'll have done these huge festival gigs. It's gonna be well exciting. Playing on a giant stage, you know, and I do mean giant stage, with a huge PA system the size of a house either side of the stage. Mind boggles. It really does. This is Da Nang. This is the An Thong district. We're going to be playing ska gigs all summer. The summer of ska really has well and truly arrived. And it's all thanks to me and a bunch of mates who decided to start making some good music. You know, I've been passionate about ska my whole life, and you know, to play these songs that I love and have been my favourite songs since forever, with a bunch of talented musicians at the other side of the world in Vietnam. Dream come true. It really, really is. If any of my friends in the UK or anywhere else in the world are thinking of coming anywhere on holiday, I can highly recommend coming to Da Nang. It's boiling hot every day. There's a massive beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. I think it's in the top 10 beaches of the world. There's mountains, there's a great city, there's great vibes. The people here are great. The Vietnamese people are amazing. I love the Vietnamese people. The food's amazing, everything's dirt cheap. You know, beers are 60p, cigarettes are 30p for 20. You know, the rent, 6 months rent here costs less than a month in London, you know. For a 2-bedroom house, 2 minutes from the beach. You can't grumble about that. You can't really say fairer than that, to be honest. It's just been a wonderful journey. And if you like ska, if you like madness and the specials and bad manners, the selector, the beat, the scatterlights, some old Jamaican ska, come and see us play. You, honestly, when people say it's the best night out I've ever had and the best band I've ever seen in Da Nang, people have lived here for years, it's like, bloody hell, that was our first gig, you know. Imagine our 10th gig. It's just mind boggles. It really does. The mind doth boggle. I'm almost back at the filling station. I've done like a complete lap of the An Thong district. I don't know if I rant on when I go on my videos, but you know, it's why not tell people about stuff, you know. It's all about advertising. Just tell people about stuff. Tell people, some people might not have heard of us, might not know who we are, what we do, when we're playing, etc. And I like making videos. I've not made any videos for bloody ages, you know. When I first come to Vietnam, I was making loads. I guess being in the band has sort of taken up a lot of my time over the past sort of 2.5 months, maybe less, sort of 2 months. But tell people, spread the word, you know. Share your stories. Everyone's interested in everyone else, you know. Whatever you've got to say about anything, everyone's interested in it. That's what I think. You know, rather than writing a status on Facebook, make a video about it instead. Post it up there. This is part 2 of my story of how the Looney Tunes ska band came to be. And I'm right back where I started.